Hello. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to demonstrate sweep practice number 2. So this is a helical slab mill, and this is the sort of thing that you'd use on a horizontal milling machine to create a flat surface. Okay, so basically what we've got here is we've got a series of 8 teeth. You can see it here, look at the top, equally spaced, but they're on a helix. What we've got here is it says a 17-inch lead. And for those of you that don't know, the lead of something is a thread, for example, is the amount that the nut will travel in a linear fashion with one revolution of the nut or of the bolt. So what we've got here is a 17-inch lead, but you can see our slab mill is only 4 inches long. So what we've got here, we'll have 4/17 of a full revolution. Okay, it's IPS, it's inch pound second, so it's an imperial unit, and we need to set it 3 decimal places. The material will change at the end is a type A2 tool steel. So let's go to SolidWorks. Again, one of the things I would say is, have the sketch open so that you can follow along with me. I'm going to open a new part. Okay, my machine defaults to MMGS, so I'm going to change that. I'm also going to change the units. Let's change those to 3 decimal places. 3, 3, 3, say OK. So I'm all set, ready to go. And if you look at the isometric view, you can see that the cylinder that this is based on is sketched on the front face. So I'm going to click on the front plane, open a new sketch. I'm just going to draw my circle, which is 3 inches in diameter. 3 inches in diameter. And then I'm going to extrude that for the length, and it's going in the wrong direction, so I'm going to reverse direction, and I want it to be 4 inches long, and I'm going to say OK. And then just as usual, I'm going to check hide show origins. There it is in the front, and if I just turn that wherever and say go back to isometric, there it is perfectly in the correct position. Now what I'm going to do is create my helix. What a helix needs is just an open sketch with a circle in it. So I'm going to click on here and open a new sketch. I'm going to go normal 2. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just touch that edge and convert entities. That's brought a circle into my sketch. The reason that I chose to convert entities is because if at some point in the future we change this model to make the slab mill larger or smaller diameter, that circle will automatically compensate. It will stay with the new size. If I just did it blind and just gave it a 3-inch diameter, if in the future we change this model of the slab mill, probably the helix will fail. It'll either won't contact the material or something will go wrong. So this is good practice. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is go to the features toolbar, and I'm going to click the drop down under curves and select helix and spiral. So what I'm interested in is, and this I've done this before, so it's just picked up that same thing, but let's just walk ourselves through it. I can choose the way I select the helix, either by pitch and revolution, and it'll calculate the height, or height and revolution, it'll calculate the pitch, or height and pitch, and it'll calculate the revolution. So we've chosen height and pitch. Spiral is what you get if you've got a traditional clock spring. So we're going to go with height and pitch. It's a constant pitch. My height is the length of this guy, which is 4 inches. my pitch, which is the same as the lead in this case, is 17 inches. What you might find is that this guy is out the front like this. If that's the case, just reverse the direction. And you might also find that, you know, it's in an awkward position. I want my helix to start at the 12 o'clock position, which in mathematics, as you know, is 90 degrees. Okay, and it might default to clockwise, but ours, if you look at it, is actually counterclockwise. So I'm going to say OK. All right. So what I've got there, and it shows up as being blue, this is my path. So this is the path that my swept cut is going to go down. Okay. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to open a new sketch on that front face. I'm going to click that edge again, and I'm going to do another convert entities. And this is where I'm going to sketch the shape of the groove, if you like, that I'm going to cut in this. Okay, so far so good. So what I want to do now actually is I want to hide this guy. So I can't see that solid body anymore. For some reason it's going a bit crazy. Let's just do this. There we go. So there I've got my helix there. All right, so now let's just start sketching. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in a tooth here, and you see it gives me top dead center. I'm going to come down and I'm going to go out to here. Let's just zoom in a bit. And then I'm going to go down like this, and then down again, and finish that on the circle there. All right, so that's snapped to the circle. So what I want to do now is I can do all sorts of different things, but what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put in a center line, two center lines, one here like that, and another one. And you remember center lines don't affect our 3D model. And what I'm going to do then is I'm going to dimension this 45 degrees. And if you're not sure why it's 45 degrees, it's going to be 360 degrees divided by 8. And you remember I can use this as a little calculator and say OK. And that gives me 45 degrees. OK. And what I want there, this is going to tell me the size of the tooth. So what I want to do there is just move this guy. I want this to be coincident with that. What I also can do now is I can take this, I can create another center line, start it on there, and I'm just going to put it out here into space. And now I'm going to create a relationship. I'm going to click the circle, hold down Control, and click the center line, and I want to have a tangential relationship. The reason I want this is because I need a reference to be able to do these two angles, the 12-degree angle and the 6-degree angle. All right, let's pop in some dimensions. So this guy here, I think, is 0.3125. That's that. You see that's gone a bit cattywampus on us. So we can pull that out a little bit. And this a little bit. All right. So what else have we got? So we know that this line here is 0.0625. 0.0625. Now be careful, because it gave me the wrong thing. Be careful, because what I want is the length of this guy. So I can just hit that 0.0625. Enter. That's that. And now what I've got, I've got the primary relief and the secondary relief, and these are an angle. So I click on that guy, and that now is 6 degrees. Okay, and then I do the same with this, and that is 12 degrees. And that's what's called the primary and secondary clearance. Okay, so that's all good. The only thing I need to do now is to put that radius on there, 0.125. And I'm just going to hit this guy. Say yes, please. And that's that. Okay, so there's the there's the cut that I'm going to make. What I need to do now is to trim the rest of the circle, because I only want the circle in that one spot. So if I trim that, there you can see now I've got the path there, and I've got the form that I want to cut. So what I can do now is I can unhide this guy, show it if you like. There it is. So what I need to do, what the pattern will need in a minute, is it will need an axis around which to do the pattern. So I can go to reference, oh, I'm still in a sketch, that's what the problem is. All right, let me close and save the sketch. Okay, now I can go to this guy, and I want an axis, and basically I can just give it this cylindrical shape, and I've got an axis there. So now what I want to do is go to features, and this time I want a swept cut, and that's this guy, and it's saying what's your profile, and it's this guy, and then it's saying what's the path, and it's that guy, and you can see it's given me a preview, which is always a very good sign, and I'm going to say OK. So that's the first one, but of course I need 8 of these. So what I'm going to do now is click linear pattern, features linear pattern, and choose circular pattern. Okay, and then what it needs is the axis, and I don't need 12 of them, I want 8 of them in 360 degrees, equally spaced. It's already picked up the features that I want, so I just say yes please, and there it is. Okay, so I can hide the axis, I don't need to see that anymore, that's with the little eye, and I can hide the helix, I don't need to see that either. Okay, so far so good. Now all I need to do is to pop in the hole and the keyway. So the hole is, what is the hole? The diameter 1.125 inch and an eighth. So far so good. And what I can do, I can use exactly the same sketch to do the keyway. Let's see what we're going to do with the keyway. It is 0.125. Like that, and it's 0.25 that way. And now what I need to do is to position it appropriately. So there's a couple of ways I can do this. One of the easiest ways is to right click, select midpoint, hold down Control and go to here, and I can make them vertical to each other, and you can see that I'm in good shape there. So that's okay. So I can trim the bits that I don't need. I can trim that, and I can trim trim that. Oh, now I've lost my dimension, but let's see what I can do. Oh, I lost my so I can just do the midpoint thing at the top here. Select the midpoint, hold down Control, and then I can choose vertical again. There you go. Say OK, and now I can go Features, Extruded Cut, and again let's choose Through All in case we change the length of this guy, and say OK. So there's that. Two things left to do. There's a chamfer here, and the chamfer is 0.03125. So let's click the fillet drop down and choose chamfer, and it's 0.03125 like that, and I'm going to choose that, turn the world and choose that. So they're my chamfers. That's okay. And then the last thing I need to do is to change the material. So right click on material, edit material, and it's ASI type A2 tool steel, apply and close. And there it is. Thank you very much.